What is going on, everyone? Thanks for entering the Lobby of Hobbies. I'm Jazz, and on today's episode, I am celebrating 1 full year of content creation right here on YouTube. So I thought, why not put together a video that not only celebrates the 1 year, but just talks about the evolution of the Lobby of Hobbies, where it came from, where it is now, hopefully where it's going, and just kind of give you the ins and outs, the struggles, the joys of this whole 1 year journey. So if you're ready for this one, let's get into it. All right, so let's start this story off with the beginning, right? Where this Lobby of Hobbies vision came from. I want to say a little bit over 2 years ago, a buddy of mine, Judge, me and him, we were sitting in his dining room and we were just talking about our hobbies, our love for what we do. He's a video gamer, I'm a board gamer, and we came up with this crazy idea of wanting to start a podcast. We, jotted all our notes down, our ideas of what we wanted to do, and honestly, that night is where it ended. There was nothing that came about it. Our busy schedules and stuff never had us revisit it or rehash what we had talked about that night. But 2019, PAX Unplugged, I have found out that a buddy of mine that I met through the Dice Masters community who was doing board game content creation was going to be there. So I said to my buddy Judge, I said, hey, why don't we go to this convention and just, kind of pick the brains of Isaac Villa from Gaming with Sidekicks. Just ask him questions, see what he does as a content creator. And I remember Isaac saying, in the board game space, I'm still fairly new, Jazz, but I know a guy named Derek Funkhauser from the Board Game Spotlight who probably would be the person to start asking, kind of pick his brain because he's been doing this much longer. So he introduced me to not only Derek Funkhauser, but also Bob Crowell from One Board Family, who they've been doing content creation. And me and Judge pretty much were their tails. We pretty much followed these 3 guys throughout the convention, asking them questions, picking their brain, seeing what it is to be a content creator in the space. And man, were these 3 guys helpful. They didn't just shoo us away. They answered our questions. They gave us tips. They gave us things like ideas on how to start, where to go, and it was just encouraging. We left that convention like rejuvenated. We really wanted to put the board game content creation together, and then again, it didn't start. It didn't start up. But it wasn't until I saw a post from Jamie Stegmeyer about uplifting, the BIPOC communities. That's the Black, Indigenous, and people of color, uplifting their voices in the hobby. And it was about people who were content creators, small content creators who wanted to, kind of get out there, that he was going to find ways to help them out. And me, with no channel at all, decided to just draft an email and to respond to this post that he made. And I didn't expect to get an email back, but Jamie emailed me with some ideas on how to start a channel, like what I wanted to do. So he pretty much said, start recording. The same thing that Isaac, Derek, and Bob had told me, just start. The Nike slogan, right? Just do it. So we did. The pandemic was going on and we decided let's use our late nights and just, Zoom call each other and record our Zoom calls and turn it into an audio podcast. And that's kind of where the channel started from. And, fast forward, unfortunately, my buddy, our schedules just didn't line up. And, he's a music producer, so he couldn't continue with it. But he said, Jazz, continue with what you're doing. You have a vision, your passion and love for board games, just continue with it. So that's kind of what I did. I decided, how do I go about this? I don't want to do a solo podcast. So, I got some advice to say, hey, just turn on a camera and just start recording. So with my little webcam, I reached out to some companies, sent out some emails, and I got a response from 25th Century Games, who sent me my first review game, and this was Christmas Lights, and that's my very first review video that I ever did on January 6th, this exact day, 1 year ago. And that's kind of how the Lobby of Hobbies YouTube channel started. And you can see in that video, the quality, the audio, all that stuff is just not what it is today. At least I hope it's gotten better in the process, and that hopefully the quality of content has gotten better. But pretty much that's the journey. That's kind of the evolution of how the Lobby of Hobbies came to be about. You know, in my personal life, I'm a social worker within the foster care system here in New Jersey. And my job is all about, you know, building community, teaching kids what it is to have a community about them, getting them networked in a community, not only in group homes, but in their foster homes, things like that. And I wanted to take that idea and kind of, you know, work on building community within this hobby, because that PAX Unplugged 2019, I learned what real community was within the hobby. It was these three gentlemen, you know, sharing their tips, their tricks on what they do, and sharing it with someone who's completely new. Someone who, you know, they could have honestly just said, yeah, just start and that's it. But they gave me tips. They gave me their tricks of what was working for them. And they said, you're going to find things that work for you, but just do it. And we're here to help you. And I figured out what real community was within this hobby. There is community here. And I wanted to be a part of building that community, making it stronger, uplifting more voices. And that's kind of where it was. But there were struggles along the way. Like I said, I do social work, but I'm also a family man. I'm a husband, I'm a father, and juggling all those three along with content creation is difficult. You know, it's a lot of late nights. It's waiting till my daughter goes to sleep, starting recording at 1 o'clock in the morning and finishing my editing at 6 in the morning when my wife and daughter are waking up, getting ready to go to work and go to daycare. But man, has this journey been awesome. There's been people along the way who have helped me out, who have kind of helped push me, because I've hit some discouraging moments. I've hit points at which I just wanted to stop, pack it all in, and just say, you know, what do I have to offer here to this community? And, you know, I'll be honest, I was seeing tweets of, you know, content creators kind of going back and forth at each other. And I said, you know, if this is what the community is about, and there's no way that I can, you know, make a difference, then why do I want to continue with this? But I saw a video, and it was from Jason Perez over at Shelf Stories, and he brought on a panel of Black content creators and designers. And man, like Jeremy Howard, Mick and Starla from Our Family Plays Games, and some others. It was just an awesome, inspiring, you know, video to watch. And I had reached out to Mick through Facebook, who's, you know, I remember if it was Facebook or Twitter, and I said, Mick, I saw the video, and man, like some of the things that you said really just, you know, inspired me. And I didn't expect to get a response from Mick. And he responded and said, Jazz, I've seen some of your videos. Keep doing what you're doing, because we need you here in the hobby. And man, did that message really strike a chord, because I was at the point of packing it all in. But man, that was the turning point to keep going. And Mick, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much to Jason, who put that panel together, because it really made a difference. I'm gonna be honest. You know, there are so many people in this hobby that have really, you know, kind of taken me under their wing, shared and helped, you know, nurture me, show me ways, what they were doing, what's worked, what didn't work. But I also got an email from Jamie Stegmeyer that said, hey, there's this gentleman by the name of Tim who runs Meepleville Cafe in Las Vegas, and he is doing just getting content creators, you know, some minorities within the industry, you know, but he wants to kind of uplift, you know, voices that are not being heard in the hobby. But it's almost like this networking, you know, Zoom call. Give him shoot him an email and see, you know, what this is all about. So this was this online Meepleville meetup, and I honestly was like, I'm a new guy. I don't really, why am I want to do this? Why am I gonna, like, what do I have to offer? But one day I just said, hey, I'm gonna shoot this email over, and I got a response from Tim. And that was a life-changing experience as well. I met some awesome people through that Meepleville meetups. Tim, you know, that meetup and what you put together has been something great for this community. It's brought content creators who were struggling on where they fit in the mold here in the space, and it has really built a community around content creators who have learned from each other, who have been there for each other, who have become friends, who we call family now. And some of those people I was able to reach out to just to get some insights, ask them some questions, but also I wanted to have them on because I wanted to thank you guys, and there's others as well who unfortunately I couldn't have everybody on the channel, but who have really helped with my growth here and the growth of the Lobby of Hobbies, the support, but not only the content creators, you guys, the community as well, the followers of the channel. I appreciate it. But I asked them some questions. The Lobby of Hobbies here, we're about building community. We're about we're about hobbies, right? Because people they love to get around hobbies. So I asked them a question like, if you were to do content creation in some other space, another hobby, what would that hobby be? What would you create content for? And the other question is, we're about building community. So if we're about building community and you want to get people who are in a room who don't know each other, who, you have some people who know each other, some people who don't know each other, how do you get them to the table? How do you get them to interact? What game would you bring out to be the icebreaker for that room? So let's listen to what this awesome group of people had got to share.
Hi everybody, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
our fan plays game. Yeah.
Congratulations, Jazz.
Happy anniversary. One year anniversary, Jazz.
Yeah.
Lobby of Hobbies doing their thing. Yeah.
And so you asked us a couple of questions.
Yes.
And we're going to answer them.
Let's go.
The first one was,
Okay.
outside of creating content for the hobby,
Yes.
what is one other hobby that you love that you could see yourself creating content for if given the opportunity?
I think we discussed it.
We did.
And it's TV shows.
TV shows.
Because we can do some reality shows.
Yes, we can.
Like, like all that stuff out there that we be watching, we can give you content for years.
Yes,
we can do
TV shows
it.
and movies.
Yes, we can do that.
We love Marvel.
Yes.
So
that would be pretty cool, though.
I think it'd be good.
Yeah, it'd be cool. That'd be cool.
And then the other question you asked was, what is a game that you would use to get people in a room to interact with each other and leave more connected?
All right, we talked about that one too, and we think the best one of your favorites, and one that she can teach, really good, and that's Code Names by CGE. Now that can bring some folk together.
Yeah, because Code Names, you got these teams, and you're guessing words, and of course when the other team is guessing wrong, you're going to be involved in
talking trash. So
Code Names is a really good one.
And we've seen that up close and personal, that it can bring folk together, laughing, having fun, having a good old time. So I think that'd be a real good one. Yeah.
So those are the questions you had for us.
Yeah.
And again, we want to say happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And we wish you many, many more.
Keep on going, Jazz. Keep doing your thing, man.
Hey everybody, it's Derek.
And Lizzie.
We're here from the Board Game Spotlight, and we want to say congratulations to Jazz on 1 year with the Lobby of Hobbies. And we want to say thank you for inviting us to this video, and we're so excited for you and what you have in the future. So Jazz sent over some questions, and we're going to go ahead and answer them. Lizzie, what's your answer?
My answer for my hobby that I enjoy outside of board gaming is obviously reading and books and anything to do with reading
Just
and
a
books.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I love it. I read a lot. I can read a book or
That's
two,
like the understatement of 2022, and it's January.
A year. A day. I can read like 2 or 3 books in a day if I...
She's read over 300
to.
last year. 2021, it was pretty awesome.
Ooh, it was great.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
My hobby that I love outside of board games is video games. I play all the time.
Everything.
All of them. I love them. Hearthstone, Call of Duty,
He's
Battlefield.
a big old nerd.
I am a huge nerd. And recently our 4-year-old child has gotten into video games. So we're playing Minecraft Dungeon, Mario Kart.
Are those 2 separate things?
They are 2 separate games, yeah. 2 different games. The same universe, different games. Anyways, video games would be my love outside of board games. And for the game that I would bring to game night to bring everybody around the table is going to be a game that is unreleased. I might be cheating here, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't count.
It's coming out this year from 25th Century. Green Team Wins. This is the party game that I want to carry around everywhere, and I want to play with people I don't know. We played this at PAX Unplugged. Well, I know, but we've played this at PAX Unplugged in 2021, and because of it, we met new people in the industry and media and just in the hobby in general, and it was just so much fun. I love it. I love it. Keep an eye out for that game.
It's a great game, but like, it doesn't exist yet. It will, and when it does, it'll go on the list. I would say Skull King, trick-taking game. Everyone that we played it with has loved it. Family, friends. I mean, we've owned multiple copies because ours just get worn out because we play it that much. So, really great trick-taking game for anyone who plays any type of card game. It's pretty easy to pick up.
Yeah, I totally agree. Anyways, thanks so much for the invitation again, Jazz. Congratulations, and we love you, bro.
Yep. Bye.
Yo, my peoples, what's up? My name is Jason, and I'm from the Shelf Stories YouTube channel. Thank you so much to Jazz for inviting me on this 1-year anniversary celebration. Congratulations, my friend. I hope that this is the first of many years of content from you. So I've been invited to talk about my hobbies and how I get people into the hobby. So in terms of my hobbies, I'm a big reader. I'm always reading stuff. I got games based on reading, like I read Rising over here. Somewhere floating up there is a Stormlight Archive. Lots of different games based on books, and I'm always reading stuff. I just wrapped up a reread of an old classic, People's History of the United States. And that led into me picking up Indigenous Peoples' History of the United States. Stories told from marginalized perspectives. I'm a radical. I don't apologize for that. So what is my game that I like to introduce people to and get people more connected to the hobby? It connects to that. Stories. I love stories. I love history, whether it's engaging in, a standard story and people can be invited in, or we could make up our own stories. And the best game that I have played, and this is a couple of years old at this point, so it's stood the test of time for me. I still play it. It is Untold Adventures Await, a Story Cubes adventure. You don't know what the story cubes are, they're these dice, and they just have stuff on them. Story elements that you can put together and just make up your own story based on what you roll. Untold gives a structure to that. It basically, you roll into like a 5-act play or TV show or whatever it is. You get your characters and you get your initial conflict and your twists and all that kind of thing. It bakes that all into a board game that lasts about an hour. So you can come up with a really, really coherent story in about an hour with this game. I love it. That I absolutely recommend that. That is Untold Adventures Await. Thank you very much once again, and I will see you guys around. Later.
Hey Jazz, this is Jamie from Stonemeyer Games, as you can see from my shirt here, and I just wanted to congratulate you on your 1-year anniversary of the Lobby of Hobbies. This is amazing. I wanted to answer a few of the questions that you asked. One, you asked, outside of designing or creating content for the hobby, what is one hobby that I love that I could probably see myself doing content for if given the opportunity? Throughout my entire life, I've had 2 hobbies that I've really loved. One is designing and creating games. I've done that since I was 5 or 6 years old, maybe a little older, 7 or 8. And I've also been writing, creative writing, fiction writing, since I was very, very young. And I was hoping that one day one of those things would be a part of my career, and I'm lucky that games are part of my career. But I still love to write. I love writing in our games, and I've written a screenplay, a romantic comedy of all things. I've written a novel, a novella, a bunch of short stories. And so I have had a lot of fun doing those things. Very few of those things have actually been published, just a few of the short stories. But someday I would love to return to that aspect of that hobby of creating creative writing and fiction writing and pursue that a little bit more. I am blessed though that I get to create content about writing. So on my personal blog, I talk about novels, and I get to write a lot on the Stonemeyer Games blog, even though it isn't fiction. It's nonfiction there. So I do get to pursue that hobby a little bit. The Lobby of Hobbies, as you say, is about building community. And you asked, what is one game that I would use to get people in a room, from friends to strangers, to interact and leave more connected with one another? And there are a bunch of games that I would use for this purpose, but the one that came to mind first was Just One. I love that Just One is a party style game, but it is very introvert friendly. You're never really on the spot in the way that you are in many party games, and it's also fully cooperative. So you're all working together. You're not competing against anyone else in the room. And it's so simple to teach and play. You can stop at any time, which I think is great for when you have a bunch of different people together in a room. And I really do feel like when I play Just One that I feel more connected to everyone else, seeing what they said. And for those moments where you write the same thing as someone else, and you're like, and there's a connection there. You're like, oh, you were thinking the same thing that I was thinking. I think that's what makes Just One really special. So again, congratulations, and thank you for including me in this video.
Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. And while you probably know me from my board game videos, I have other hobbies, a whole bunch by the way. We're not going to get into the laundry list of them. But one thing that I've always enjoyed, and it's a bit of a lame segue because it's not that dissimilar to board games, but video games. I've always enjoyed video games, and I've always played video games. And while I play them far less nowadays than I used to, well, when I had more time in my life, I used to spend hours every single day before I was married, before I had jobs, responsibilities. I spent hours every single day playing whatever video game I liked at the time. I've dove in heavily into games like Guild Wars, into the Batman Arkham Knight series, and all these different video games out there. Far Cry. I used to play Far Cry for hours on end. I love the video game universe and worlds around them. Now, while I don't spend as much time with them as I used to, I still make time for games like Overwatch, I've played for years, Far Cry, games like Slay the Spire, which is basically cheating, it's almost a board game. And if I had more time, if I had more opportunities, I'd love to make content around video games as well as board games. Now, as far as a game, as far as a board game that brings people together, as far as a board game that connects and tells stories, I think my go-to recommendation would be Monikers. I think Monikers is a fantastic game, and while there's many fantastic games out there, Monikers in particular builds relationships and builds connections through a single game, even with strangers. You see, Monikers is basically charades across 3 rounds. A round of saying whatever you want to get the target word, a round of then saying a single word to get the target word, and then a round of saying nothing at all, just basically miming things out. But you're working with the same words, so you cycle things around, and inside clues, inside jokes develop as you play the game. What started off as a random tangent that made no sense in the first round becomes a clue in the second round that would never make any sense except to the people that had sat there and played the game with you. And so Monikers, a single session of Monikers, can effectively build relationships between people. It can build connections. It can have total strangers walking away from the table with inside jokes that they can remember and bring up the next time they play them. I think Monikers is a fantastic game that builds relationships. Congratulations to Jazz on his 1-year anniversary. It's been great seeing you on YouTube in general, and I hope to see you for many, many years to come.
Congratulations on your 1 year! Yeah! 1 year. Can you believe it's been 1 year already?
It's a long year. Well, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Coverate, a couple that loves to play board games, and we are so honored to be involved in your 1 year anniversary video, Jazz.
Yay, celebrations!
Yay.
Now, you've asked us for one hobby that we would maybe make content around if we could that's not board games.
Yes. We're obviously going to answer this question separately, but mine I think would be one of 2 things. Either video games, which is pretty self-explanatory, or I think I would probably do something around the design space.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Yeah, so for some of those folks out there that don't know, I really like art and creating things, and sometimes I need to get better at showing what I create, but I think if I could do some content for it, it might help me.
That's super cool. I think for me, it would have to be music. I think it's my always go-to. It's my form of self-care. I love playing piano, guitar, singing like nobody's listening, but I'm not the best at it. So I don't know if I would make content for it. Maybe with enough practice and enough courage and confidence. That could be a possibility.
Cool.
Now, the second question is what is the one game that we can kind of use to bring people together in a community setting? I think for me, it is Alice is Missing, which is a role-playing game that's done completely through text messages. It's a little darker, but every time we played this game, we've really bonded with the people that we've played. We've created this immersive narrative, and we really left these characters with that was just like so memorable and such a connecting feeling, and I want everybody to experience that. So I would definitely encourage you to check out Alice is Missing and use it to bring people together if they are feeling that type of way and that type of game, because it is a little bit darker.
Yeah, role-playing games are definitely something that help build community, for sure. And Alice is Missing is like a perfect example of like almost a gateway role-playing game that is on the darker side, and it doesn't take very long to do.
No, it does not.
No. I'll stick with a party game.
Okay. What's it gonna be?
And the classic party game that I always jump to is Just One. I think it's a lot of fun to get everybody going, to get everybody on top of that game, and then just like you get laughs, you learn about how people think, and you just have really good moments.
I love Just One.
Yay!
It's a great game. Well, thank you so much for having us, and congratulations on your 1 year.
Yes, and to many more.
Many, many.
Happy 1 year anniversary, Jazz! That's absolutely amazing! Congratulations! I'm so glad you got into board game video content creation and that we got to meet through Tim and the Meepleville chats and then at PAX in person! Woot woot! Happy 1 year anniversary, my friend. That is amazing. I'm Amanda Panda. I'm a board game Twitch streamer. What is the hobby that I would do if I was going to create content for something other than board games? That would be probably knitting and crocheting. I made these dragon scale gloves for myself or card making. So I made these cards as well, and I've done some of this on my stream already. So I don't know if I am cheating or not. What is one game that I would use to bring strangers or a group of people together around the table and make them feel more connected? It would be Just One. I love Just One. Just One is a cooperative game, so you don't have that problem where some people might get a little bit too competitive. It says on the box that it plays 3 to 7 players, but I've actually had a great deal of fun playing it 12-player game. It was so much fun. It's a little chaotic, but it was a lot of fun. You just need 2 copies of the game. Just One helps bring people together because when you match someone, you're like disappointed because that means that clue gets thrown away, but you're also like, hey, we thought of the same thing. Isn't that awesome? And when the guesser actually guesses the clue right, that makes everyone feel good because everyone helped with that. And you get to kind of see how people think or what they like in pop culture. Some of the words can start conversations where, oh, you connected that character to this word. I love that TV show. It's so great. So Just One is definitely my choice for the best icebreaker game to bring strangers around the table and make them feel connected.
Hey, Jazz. Tim here from Meepleville in Las Vegas. Just wanted to congratulate you on your anniversary of the Lobby of Hobbies. You're putting out great content, consistent content, and we really appreciate it. The community really appreciated it. I'm so glad I had a chance to finally meet you at PAX, and you're everything that I had hoped for. A wonderful guy, a great human being, and it's great knowing you and great calling you a friend. So I wish you tremendous success. Keep up the great work. Keep up the great content, and I'll see you at your next anniversary.
My name is Monique.
And I'm Naveen from a YouTube channel called Before You Play. And first things first, we want to say congratulations on 1 year to you, Jazz. It's quite the feat. And again, congratulations.
Now for some questions. If I could make content for another hobby that's not board gaming, I would probably do like a travel channel. I was going to say music, play my guitar and write music and make videos, but I think I kind of would want to do a little bit more than that. And so maybe going to different countries, filming my experiences, and then playing the background music for it. Sounds dreamy, but really difficult.
It sounds difficult, but it sounds nice.
Thank you. And yourself?
For me, okay, so I'm a big American football fan. I would probably do something like a 20 to 30 minute talk segment, like a weekly show or something, wrapping up everything that went on. Football is the ultimate cooperative dexterity game. So semi-cooperative dexterity game, so maybe something like that.
And if you could use any game to bring a few strangers together who are in the same room, what would you use?
Well, this one might make some people uncomfortable, but for me, I think it's a good time because some moments can really, really shine in this game, and that would be monikers. It's a really, really good one team versus another team party game, and I think that's the one for me. How about yourself?
I think the party games are the way to go. If I had a smaller group, I would choose monikers as well. Okay. But for a larger group, definitely 2 rooms and a boom, which is also another kind of it's a social deduction game, but a party game as well. But it gets you up off your feet.
Yep.
And it kind of gets you going to people on a one-on-one basis.
It does force you to interact.
Yes. So thank you so much for having us be a part of your 1 year anniversary celebration, Jazz. And we wish you many more years to come of wonderful content and fantastic board gaming. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, this is Luna from Aspie Gamer Girl and the Meeps, and I'm so happy to be part of this video. I first of all want to say congratulations to Jazz. You are an amazing human being, and I'm so happy about your anniversary and being part of your anniversary video. Besides creating content for board games, and actually it was something that I was considering before starting creating content for board games, it was to create content for DIY and low waste lifestyle, to create content to show people how to reduce waste or the alternative of plastic. So a lot of things that come with this lifestyle at the beginning, they seem really hard, but there are ways to get there, to reduce your waste, to reduce plastic. So I feel like it's something that will come like so naturally to me that I will be able to easily do it. What game I will play with strangers or friends to make sure they interact with each other. I'm gonna go from the general to the specific on this one. So for sure, a party game. I think that is the way to go because it's light, it's easy to teach. But I think I will go with something like Telestrations or Monstrosity or things that you have to draw and guess, because I feel that those games first always give you a laugh. And second, you have to kind of interact or think about like how the other person thinks to try to guess what they're trying to tell you. So I will go for either like those drawing games or something a little bit more deep into like guessing how your brain works, like Rorschach or Dixit or something like that. Most of the time that you play those games, you end up laughing, you end up wanting more, and you end up engaging with people on the table. I think that will be it. And again, thank you so much just for having me, and congratulations on your milestone.
Hey everybody, this is Isaac from Gaming with Sidekicks. Want to congratulate you, Jazz, over at the Lobby of Hobbies for making it a year. That is awesome, that's great. I love that you're there. I'm over here at Gaming with Sidekicks. You can find us in social media, on our website, and all those different places. But Jazz asked me to share a couple different things. Hobby-wise, what would I be into if not board games? I love board games. I got a lot of them. There's a couple other things I'm into. I really do like sports cards. Picked that up in the last year or two, kind of getting back into that. Video games is a fun thing, but I think the thing I would probably do the most content on if I was doing some of the other board games would be the Marvel Cinematic Universe or just Marvel Comics in general. Love Spider-Man. I'm a huge Venom fan. That's my main favorite character, especially Eddie Brock version of Venom, not Agent Venom. But I could see doing some Marvel content. I think that'd be something I'd really enjoy. So if I wasn't doing games, maybe you'd see me dissecting the latest episode of Hawkeye or trying to put together all the spoilers from the latest Spider-Man movie. The other thing he wanted me to address was games. Games we love. Our big thing over at Game and Sidekicks is the games we like with the people we love. And there's a lot of games that we like to get to a party. We like to get people together. So if I'm somewhere and maybe there's strangers, there's people who know each other, don't know each other, and I want to get everybody integrated together, the game for me that I would pull out is not a game you can buy yet, but it's coming in 2022, and I'm telling you, this is going to be the game, the party game, the get people together game, whether it's 6, 8 people, whether it's 12 or it's 20, whether it's, I could see playing this with like 50 people, is Green Team Wins from 25th Century Games. Chad Elkins over there at 25th Century, he's got a great game on his hands. Keep an eye out. It's going to be coming this year. It's a party game where you're trying to get on the green team with the right answer. If you're not, you're on the orange team. You're trying to get on that green team. It's get on the same page as everybody you're playing with. Try and guess how they'd answer a question. Like, what's more important, like strength or creativity? What's the best colored crayon? Red, blue, green. You've got these things that can be decisive. You're asking questions. You're kind of going through them and figuring out what's the best answer. It's fun. It's a game that would really get everybody involved together, and I love it. So keep an eye out for that. Green Team Wins. That would be my choice. So Jazz, again, I'm humbled that you asked me to be a part of this. I love you. I love what you're doing. Keep doing great content. Keep being such a great presence in our community. And thanks for including Game of Sidekicks as part of your adventure, part of your team, and especially part of your family, because you know you're family with us. Thanks.
Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Chris Yee from the Dice Tower. Jazz and the whole Lobby of Hobbies community, happy anniversary. Doing this stuff for a whole year is awesome. It takes a lot of investment, so you should feel proud of yourself. Congratulations. If you've been a fan of what Jazz is doing, make sure to always tell him and tell him things. Being someone who's a content creator is so, it takes a lot out there, and so it takes a lot of yourself. So always make sure to tell people that you appreciate what they do. So I appreciate what you do. I'm here to talk about myself. Outside of board games, I'm a big music nerd. That's my big passion, my big hobby. I write music. I listen to a lot of music. If I were to make a podcast or a YouTube channel and stuff about anything else, it would be dissecting music, talking about what makes songs work and what makes other ones just absolutely sing and so good. I would be making my own music and stuff. I do a little bit of that on my own, but that's my other biggest passion. But let's talk about games, because that's what this one's primarily about here, this video. If I were in a room full of people, I wanted to bring them together, I would use Sushi Go Party. This is one of the best games at just being silly and fun. There's some meaningful interaction with people at the table, and you get to have a fun story that you walk away with. You know, Carl over there taking all the dumplings when I clearly needed the dumplings, Carl. That's the kind of stuff you want to walk away from a game with. Something that's, just, it's not in your face, but there's enough moments where you're going to remember the people at the table. You're going to have a lot of fun. Cute, adorable artwork always helps. So anyway, hey, thanks again. Happy anniversary. Congratulations. You should feel great. And I hope for many more years of hobbies from the lobby. So take care.
As happy anniversary in this space, man, it is by no means an easy task to produce content for a year and travel and maintain life and work and family. And I'm really glad you're here. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this anniversary video. And you asked for us to answer two important questions. What is our other hobby outside of board games, outside of content creation, and what game are we willing to introduce anyone to? So I'm going to start with one of my other hobbies. It's going to be woodworking. I just started something that I've always wanted to do, is learn the craft from my grandfather. And I just started a video series over on Quackalope that is doing just that. So we are slowly upgrading all of my permanent collection into wooden boxes. And I'm really grateful to be able to do this, and really excited that my grandfather and I get to spend some time together creating and crafting something beautiful. The other thing is going to be a little game called Rolling Realms, a game that I have been really enjoying recently from Stonemaier Games. It's a roll and write with a lot of different asymmetric puzzles that you're trying to solve. And while it does lend itself to people being familiar with the higher level games, I think it's a good introduction for two reasons. It's accessible and interesting in a really inviting way into the roll and write genre, and has puzzles that reference other games. So it's a compelling way to start bridging people into the larger scope of gaming. They become familiar, see the different patterns, and decide they want to try them out for themselves. So thank you for having me. Thank you for being here and creating content and being just such a awesome guy. I'm looking forward to the next year, man.
Hello, Lobby of Hobbies, and happy 1-year anniversary, Jazz. Friends, I'm Ruel Gaviola, and I've been creating content for about 5 years. I'm a co-host of Good Looking Kickstarters with Becca Scott, and also the R&R show with Rado. You can also find me playing board games on my Twitch channel several times a week. Now, board games are my main passion, but so is food. My wife, Michelle, and I are big-time foodies, and we love traveling to different parts of LA, go Dodgers, and getting to know the different neighborhoods through their restaurants. Now, before the pandemic, we'd actually organize like food tours for our friends and family. We'd take the train out to LA and just, go to the different areas and neighborhoods and explore the local eateries. But, because of the pandemic, we're not really doing that much anymore. But as things get safer, we're looking to get back to doing this, and maybe we'll live stream our foodie adventures one of these days. Speaking of food, I love food-themed games, and Sushi Roll is one of my favorites to introduce to new players. It's easy to learn, has lots of chunky dice featuring cute sushi, and I've always enjoyed bonding through food or meals or board games, and I think Sushi Roll is a great way to combine both of them. So bond through those games, bond through that food, and have a great time. Jazz, it's been great getting to know you over the last year or so and watching your channel grow as well, my friend. I wish you much continued success. Keep doing the killer job you're doing, my friend, and one of these days, I'm looking forward to sharing a meal with you and playing some baseball highlights. All right, brother, take care and keep playing games. Bye, everybody.
Hey Jazz and the Lobby of Hobbies, thank you for having us. We are Jamie and
Jeff
of Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
board gamey things.
Ain't that right? We were asked by Jazz to come on and do a little video. He's asked us questions, so we want to answer those for you.
Let's do it.
Jazz has asked, outside of creating content for this hobby, this beautiful hobby of board gaming, what is one other hobby that you love that you probably could see yourself doing content for if given the opportunity? Now, we have done this before. We had an old channel all about books.
Yeah, we've explored that venture before.
We've explored that venture
I'd never
before.
go back to books now, though.
No, I don't think I would either. So what's another hobby?
Does painting count as being in this hobby? Like in this space?
It's board game adjacent, but it's different enough.
Yeah, I think it's different enough. I've been recently getting more and more into miniature painting. I've been doing it for maybe around 6 months now. It's very therapeutic for me. I might even do it someday. I might honestly do it someday.
You should. For me, I don't know if it's specifically a hobby, but I would love to do just vlogs. Just life vlogs. Life with Jeff and Jamie. What an adventure. The Real Housewives of Jeff and Jamie.
Yeah.
And then the other question that Jazz asked, he said, sorry, I don't have my glasses on, Jazz, so I
can read it. Since Lobby of Hobbies is about building community, what is the one game that you would use to get people in a room to interact and leave more connected with one another?
Want to say it at the same time? 1, 2, 3.
Camel Up.
Okay, Camel Up is an amazing game. It is a bidding game where camels are racing and then they go and then sometimes they go backwards and you don't know and you got to bet
Specifically
on which one you want
second
to win.
edition. And we have a host rule wherein there's a pyramid with dice in it. And anytime you shake the pyramid to roll the dice and push the button, you have to yell, Camel Up!
And everybody has to do it.
Everyone will have fun and everyone gets engaged in watching these camels do their chaos around the board.
Camel Up! We love it. Anyways, those are the 2 questions. So we just wanted to say,
Congratulations, Jazz, on your 1 year.
Happy anniversary, family.
Yeah, we love you very much, and we hope the best for yourself, Delilah, and Lila going into 2022.
And the Lobby of Hobbies.
All of the years
every year
will follow.
From here to
this
the
year.
end of time. Love you, Jazz. Bye.
Hey, this is Ryan.
And this is Bob.
With One Board Family. Congratulations on a full year with Lobby of Hobbies, Jazz. We love your channel and all the work that you're doing in the board game industry.
Yep, I actually first met Jazz at 2019 PAX Unplugged, and it's been great getting to know him and board game with him over the past couple of years.
That's right. I got to meet Jazz in person at Origins 2021, so I'm a little late to getting to know him. But Jazz, I appreciate your friendship and also all that you do for our hobby. And congratulations on a year and many more years to come for your channel. Also, congratulations on being part of the Voices Initiative with Our Family Plays Games. Looking forward to an excellent 2022.
Everyone, it's Amy and Maggie from Thinkathema, and Jazz, we just want to say a huge congratulations on your 1 year anniversary. You have quickly become such an incredible friend of ours. From the moment we met you on that Meepleville stream, we instantly hit it off and we knew we were going to be friends. And from then it just feels like we've been talking about games with you constantly and we just love you so much and we can't wait to meet you in person and play some games. But for this exciting video, thank you for having us be a part of it. We're excited to answer your questions. So the first question is, Maggie, what hobby would you make content for, if not board games?
Ooh, I think for me it would probably be something like, it's not really a hobby, but like anything personal growth or personal development.
True.
Yeah, like any sort of self-improvement type thing. I love that stuff. I will consume everything to do with that. And so I'd probably quite gladly make content like that. What about you?
Mine would definitely be food related.
I can see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think when the foodie wave started, I really wanted to be a food blogger. And I did start one at some point and then kind of quickly, it didn't really stick like the board gaming did.
Yeah.
But it would definitely be street food. And that means that you need to take me to the best Philly steak place so that I can start writing a food blog about street food.
Nice.
But the second question is about a game that brings people together. We love creating a community around our table, and one game that we've found to be equally powerful in a friendship setting versus in a in a potential friendship setting or a
Yes,
game with
budding
strangers
friendships setting, yeah.
is El Grande. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's based on area control and everyone vying for control of these different territories, which could be problematic.
Oh yeah, true.
With newbies, but the game is not really that mean because there's a lot of trade-offs that you're having to make along the way.
And it's a great intro to Euro games as well. Like a lot of the concepts of a Euro game are in there, and it's not a huge barrier to entry. So
Not to mention the sneaky little Castillo.
Oh, so good.
Where you like put little meeples in there and no one knows how many you put in there. Yeah, what a great game to bring people together. And always there's a lot of laughter around the table as well. And that's what gaming is all about to us. And we know that's what it is for you. Yeah. And we're so excited to see what you do next, Jazz. But thank you so much for being a part of our lives. And we look forward to talking to you very soon. Yeah. Bye for now. Bye.
Hey everyone, my name is Max.
And I'm Doolin.
And welcome to Table Knots, where today we're going to be talking to...
No, Lobby of Hobbies, Max. It's the anniversary of 1 year for Jazz. He's turning 1.
Happy
Congratulations.
1 year birthday.
Are you walking yet?
Hobbies.
Are you talking yet?
You got any teeth?
That's so good.
Thank you for inviting us to join in on this celebration of you and your channel and your community that you've built.
Yeah.
We really appreciate the invitation to just share some things about us and about board games and why we love this community so much. So first and foremost, congratulations and thank you.
Huge.
Now, Jazz has asked us 2 separate questions. He's asked us if we could create content for another hobby, because we want you to get to know us and Table Knots, Max and Doolin a little bit.
And this is something that we've actually thought about before.
We've talked about this before.
Because it is a huge passion of mine and a passion of yours too.
Yeah, you're a little more there because you have a little more free time to indulge in this passion, but I do very much enjoy it as well.
But it's actually cooking. I love cooking. In fact, I'm probably the primary cook in in my house. It's something that Emily and I have talked about even turning into way down the line when we retire. We're going to open a restaurant.
We've discussed board game cafes.
Yeah, absolutely, because his love for board games, not that I don't
our
love
love
games.
for both.
Yeah. It would be really fun to do.
Yeah.
But food is just a really great tool, just like board games, to bring people together.
Absolutely.
And you can invite a group of people. I've blended the two.
Oh yeah,
so
100%,
many times, and
100%.
it's just a really fun opportunity to gift give, which is my love language, to people, because you can cook something really, really nice that you've worked really hard on, and hopefully they enjoy it. But even if not, you can normally tell the work I've put in, and that to me is me showing love to somebody. So it's really, really fun.
Yeah, and I'm on the same boat there. I love cooking. I love making my smash burgers and grilling steak and salmon and things like that. I
haven't talked to anybody about the food at all
because I'm just I don't have the time to dedicate, but I probably should get there. But if I had to choose a different one, honestly, just parenting. But that would be a caveat in that I'm still new and I don't know a lot yet.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about parenting. I'm a dad to 3 girls.
Dude, you're a great parent.
It'd be one of those things that maybe in the future, as I learn more and feel like I have something to offer to somebody, that might be an avenue to take it down. And I think my wife would be great at that as well. She's a great parent as well. And then the second question.
Very quickly, because I think we're almost at 2 minutes. Just One is my game that I would recommend to get strangers to become friends. It's just a very perfect party game. I love it so much.
And mine, if not Just One, is also very similar in that it's a party game that just gets people happy. And it's Monikers. It's a game where you start off very simple, trying to get people to guess anything.
A lot of charades.
Then it's one word, and then it's charades. It gets people out of their comfort zone in a ramp. It doesn't start off and be like, you have to act out in front of strangers. It at least gives you a couple of rounds of entertainment before you have to get to that point. And I find that it nudges people in that direction better than any other game I've seen. So if we had to introduce games to people to get them to become fast friends like Friedman Freese, this is what we would choose. And thank
Happy
you, Jazz.
anniversary, Jazz.
Happy anniversary.
Love you.
Congratulations on your teeth.
All right, so there you have it, a look into the hobbies of other creators and designers in the space, the things that they love, and if they weren't doing board game content creation, what they probably would be doing creation for. But honestly, if I was to answer the question myself, it would probably be sports. I'm kind of right there with Naveen. My all-time favorite sport is baseball, but I would love to just talk about sports in general. Maybe get a hodgepodge of a bunch of sports. So Naveen, if you ever put together that segment, let me know, because I'd love to talk football with you as well. But even some of those games, like Ilya, Alice is Missing, never heard of it. I'm intrigued. I want to know what this whole text messaging RPG is all about. But each and every one of you guys, thank you so much for being a part of that segment, for just sharing, but most importantly, for the things you've done behind the scenes, your text messages, your emails, your encouraging words, not only about board game content creation, but about life in general. Just those messages asking me how my family's doing, when I'm going through things, asking me, how has that been? Have I overcome that challenge? That means the world to me. That's what this community is about, and that's what the Lobby of Hobbies vision is, and you guys are the epitome of that. But even for the other creators who were not able to be a part of this segment, you guys know who you are. I'm still meeting so many of you. I've met you guys at PAX Unplugged. I'm meeting you guys online. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. It means the world to me. But I gotta thank not only the viewers for what you guys have, the support you guys have given me, for sticking around with this channel, listening to this crazy guy talk about his passion and what he loves to talk about. But to my wife, my family, my daughter, who deal with me when I'm, up late, sometimes keeping them up with my loud voice as I'm recording, because honestly, they're right above me. My bedroom is right above this room. So sometimes my wife's waking up in the middle of the night, telling me to keep it down, or my daughter's waking up. But thank you guys for all that you do. It means so much. Now, what is in store for the future here at the Lobby of Hobbies? Some of you may know that I've been asked by Mick, Starla, and Grant of Our Family Plays Games to be a part of their new monthly show over on their YouTube channel called OFPG Voices. So I'm super excited to be a part of their vision, a part of that initiative. So if you are not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to Our Family Plays Games, and keep an eye on not only that show, but all the content, the awesome content that they're putting out. But here on this channel, I've mentioned before that I am going to start covering board game apps and other forms of digital implementations of board games, like the Sovereignty app and Board Game Arena. And that is still in the works. I'm still working out the logistics on how to kind of get the connections, the equipment all set up to be able to do that. But we're also looking into doing live streaming with other content creators here on the channel to be able to cover those apps as well. I don't know yet the scheduling on how that's going to work, but stay tuned for that, because that is definitely something that is in the works. But the biggest announcement that I want to share with you guys is that in the near future, I will be having a co-host with me on some of my shows here and there, and that is going to be none other than my wife, Delilah, who has, graciously accepted the nudging that I've been sometimes pestering her. I guess I've pestered her to the point that she just gave in. Now, honestly, my wife is someone who's always supported me in the vision here at the channel, and her schedule has been very, very busy, but she is looking forward to being a part of some of the video topics here on the channel and covering some games and just sharing her insight to what the hobby has brought to her as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. But outside of that, I just wanted to close the show by not only thanking you, but leaving a word of encouragement for someone who might be looking into getting into content creation. Honestly, you might be at a point where I was, where you kind of, mapped everything out, and you just, may have been scared, where I was, of not wanting to start and not knowing how to start. Trust me, the best advice I can give you, and I know it sounds cliche, is just jump in and do it. There are so many people here in this space that will be willing to help you, myself included. If you have questions, ask. There are people who want to help you in your vision. And trust me, you might not think you have something to offer, but you have value to offer to this hobby. Whether you are looking to be a content creator, or you don't want to be a content creator and you just want to be a gamer in this space, you still have value for this community, and that's what this community needs. People who are offering it and bringing something to the table, and we all have something to bring to the table. So I encourage everyone, people who want to be content creators, people who just love to game at the table. So For those that have stuck through with this video, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate what's in store in the future, and honestly, it could not be done without you guys, so thank you so much. And if you are new to this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I look forward to chatting with you down in the comments and in future videos, but without further ado, I'll see you on the next one.